vegan foodie. You
Yes.
you are making numbers on IG. Tell the people a little bit about your Instagram page.
Well, okay, so first of all, my Instagram page wasn't like when I started the vegan foodie, it wasn't like, okay, I'm gonna be an influencer and I'm gonna put people on. It actually started because I was in the entertainment industry and I was a publicist. And so I would just put out content and my friends was like, how you a publicist and like you have doing it? You need to do it right. And so I fasted for 30 days and then one night in the middle of the night God woke me up, was like, create an Instagram page and make it the vegan foodie. And so
Wow.
that's how it began, and I was like posting recipes and posting memes and just sharing my life, being transparent. And then it just transformed into this whole thing that now is the vegan foodie. But it didn't start off that way. It just started off with me just posting like memes and recipes and, just making information available for my demographic.
I like that. And I like that you yourself. And a lot of people don't realize, like, when you get on social media, people mess with people that are themselves, not trying to like put on a persona or anything like that. And
Hmm.
I know that, like you said, and I remember you talked about it. You did used to be a publicist, and you really got like you really worked your way up in the entertainment industry and then decided to end up walking away. What was like that breaking point that made you say, you know what, I'm gonna go travel, I'm gonna just go do me?
Well, I always knew that I would move away from America. London was like, I used to be one of them type of people when I was little, like I'm moving to London, or I'm moving to Africa. And so during the pandemic, it was like the industry was dead. There wasn't any work. And it was like, I'm over these people. I'm over loving hip hop clients. I'm over these athletes. So I was like, you know what? I'm retiring. Y'all can have that. I'm moving to a different part of the world, and God to make the rest of the way for me. And that was it.
And I like that you have faith. So many of our people we're scared to make that jump. Oh my God. And let's talk about some of the things people say right away when you say you're going overseas. I mean, God forbid you tell them you're going to Mexico for a little piece of a trip at a resort and they be freaking out.
Right.
Oh, you a single woman, you can't travel by yourself. You black, you not gonna be safe. What if you get kidnapped? And I always feel like all that can happen here in the States.
I mean, I was living in Midtown Atlanta. So,
I'm in Atlanta now. Exactly. Yeah.
like, people was my neighbor got killed, which was Angela Statton's baby daddy. He got killed right before I left. One of my homegirls almost got picked up for trafficking from somebody trying to
Wow.
kidnap her. So it's like that drama is everywhere. So it's just about yourself. It's about, being safe yourself and holding accountability for yourself no matter where you are. Now, granted, Nigeria was scary. I had to leave Nigeria because they are kidnapping people. They are
Okay.
using people for body parts for rituals. So,
Oh, okay. And that was the country you went to first after you left the States.
I went to Nigeria first.
What part of Nigeria?
I was in Lagos and then I was in Ibadan.
Gotcha. Okay.
Hmm.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I'm glad you got out of that because I have heard some things about Nigeria. But um, let me ask you this: was anybody in either your friend group or your family supportive, or was everybody kind of like, "Girl, you crazy"?
A lot of people were supportive because they know me. Like I've
Okay.
lived in all four coasts of the United States. I lived in Brooklyn, I lived in Vegas, I lived in California. I'm originally from Detroit. So I left home in 2010. So my family know, like, if she don't like a place, she would get up and leave. Now some people were like pessimistic about it, but those are people that haven't traveled, that are closed mind, or really don't know who I am as a person. So if you really don't know me, you're going to be scared for me. But if you know me, she like you put her anywhere on God's green earth, she gonna triple her worth.
I
So
like
a
that.
lot of my friends and family were very supportive.
I like that. That's good because a lot of people don't have that. And one of the biggest fears people have too is, oh my God, like how am I gonna get a job? in a new country, how am I going to make money? So let's say I don't have a lot of money saved up. Let's say, you know, I got enough, you know, just to get me over there wherever I'm going, maybe a month or two of rent, and that's it. Like, where do I, like, what are the resources I would need to make it? Like, what do I do? Because I think people don't know how to put that plan together of how to make
Well,
that transition.
realistically, in Nigeria, my rent was 5,000 for the year, right? So
Wait, US dollars or their
yeah,
dollars?
US dollars. US dollars.
For the year?
Yeah, their rent is annual. So of course, some rent can be more like 7,000, 10,000, but I was paying 25,000 for the year in Atlanta, right? So, know what country, like a lot of these countries are cheaper. India is cheaper. Dubai is not as cheap as Africa, but move to a cheaper country also. You have to know how to make money. Like me, I make money online. I make money with social media, and I day trade. So you have to have
Oh,
a
okay.
plan. But I had to have a plan when I stopped being a publicist. I mean, even still now, I could be a publicist and work clients from here, because I did take one client and I was like, this is why I quit. But you have to figure out a way to have income coming in. There's a lot of ways to make money online now. Having a job shouldn't stop you from moving abroad if you want to work a job. But there's so many ways where you could, like, you have a YouTube channel, so if you have a budding YouTube channel and you making money from YouTube, you can live anywhere in the world long as
And,
money coming in.
and that's what people tell me. Like, they like, Storm, you can go anywhere. So I'm like, okay, like the rent, I'm leaving this apartment, but like the rent here, I pay $3,000 a month. I could go anywhere and probably live like a king for that. You know what
Do
I
you know
mean?
how good you would live in Dubai alone? Like a studio apartment in Dubai is like, I was paying 1,000. I'm moving into a new place and I'll be paying 2,000. But that's like I'm living in Dumac Hills where the housewives of Dubai live. Like that's living good. But what you pay for 2 months is what you'll be paying for a year, or 6 months in Africa somewhere, or anywhere else, like even Mexico, because I was thinking about Mexico was 500 a month,
That
you
is
know.
true. And Mexico is right next door. I could definitely just go do that. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So, it's ways to live good and not stress yourself. Like in America, inflation is crazy, and you would stress yourself trying to live, especially in Atlanta, you would stress yourself trying to live middle class decent,
Yes.
and I was over that stress. I was over paying high rent, just because in America, where you live, people will pay you based on your zip code, based on where you live. The
True.
the higher in your place, the more you can make money, but the more money you gonna spend you
Yeah,
know
so it's equaling out. It's like if I go move to New York, if I worked a job, okay, I may be making more money annually, but the rent higher and the food higher, and it's just like, yeah,
exactly,
it's like a never ending chase, never ending cycle. You know.
exactly, yeah.
Now, what about for the ladies that, and gentlemen too, if they watching? What
Hmm.
about the ladies that feel like, well, I want to find love, and will, when I go to these other countries, like, will I be okay dating? Like, where do I start? What do I do? I think honestly, for a lot of Black American women going to Africa, I think the men gonna love you. That's just my opinion.
They gonna love you anywhere. They gonna love you
Yes.
in Dubai. I have to be like, I'm good, because the ratio is like 13-1. And when I walk outside with my blonde hair, my nails, my lashes, my clothes, I'm gonna get attention from all over. So it's like when you're in these countries, the men are approachable. The man, you can find a man. It just depends on what type of man you want. If you just want a man, you can get a man. Now, if you have a certain type, a certain tax bracket, a certain look, then you might have to do a little digging, but you'll definitely find a man, and you can definitely find a husband. Trust me. In Nigeria, Americans, you might want to be careful,
Because they might be, yeah, yeah,
you know
yeah.
but still, you can still find a man. You know, they
You
out here.
they out there, and like I said, I haven't been everywhere, but I just feel like once women start going to like the European countries, African countries, whatever, those men are they ain't scared of women. Let me just put it out there. Like they gonna talk to you. Like if you beautiful, if you attractive, they gonna talk to you. So
They will, and they gonna take you on dates, and they gonna spend money, and they gonna do what they supposed to do.
because tell the women how when you go overseas culturally, like the men are supposed to spend the money on the women. Like that's what they do.
You supposed to first and foremost, when you marry an African man or a Middle Eastern man, you're supposed to get a dowry. You're supposed to like even with my husband, like I got an allowance, like off the rip. Like
Hmm.
you supposed to give me money. Like, you know. So it's normal. It's normal for them. It's actually abnormal for them not to do it, or for you to come in and wanna, like in America, be 50-50, you know, like your money is your money, their money is your money.
I be trying to
But
tell them.
keep in mind, here in Dubai, there's Russians, Filipinos, Indians, Syrians, Egyptians. It's all different type of men, and you will realize that the culture is so different. Like even me with my male friends, anything that I want here, they do for me. Even the women, they treat me well, you know.
Good.
So um it's just being out here, I've adapted to this culture, this lifestyle, and it's like, why would I go back to the United States where I'm, you know, treated as a black woman, as opposed to being here in the out here in the world, and I'm treated as an American, which is like elite.
That is true too. And I'm glad you brought that up that they treat you with respect because I know some people are gonna say, well, I can't wear my hair a certain way or I have to cover up. But you yourself, like you doing you, and you seem to be perfectly fine over there.
Yeah, that's you
Because
know, you
it's a Middle Eastern country, so they gonna say, well, they don't let you have nails and they don't let you. I'm like, she seemed to be just fine.
well, you know, it's the scenario of you can't tell me what's happening inside the club when you standing outside. So until you get in the club, until you get in the VIP, you don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to be honest, when I first got here, I was like, because I had bought a bunch, like when I was coming here in July, and they had banned flights from Nigeria. And I had all of these like Muslim outfits created, and then I wound up going to Ghana, so I had to go re-shopping for Ghana. And when I got here, I had all these like covered up long dresses, and I'm seeing girls with BBLs, with lip fillers, with they cleavage showing, and they were not black women. These were Middle Eastern women. And I'm like, please run me my tights, run me my short dresses, run me
Yes,
my cleavage shirts, run me my nails. I'm not doing that. And I don't feel comfortable doing that. And here it's just, certain places you can't go anywhere like dress, inappropriate, but that's anywhere. You can't go into an office building with your with some booty shorts on and expect to handle business. That's anywhere. You have to be dressed appropriate anywhere. Now in Nigeria, it was a little different because I had tattoos, so I just stood out. That's it. You know.
okay.
Ramadan, you want to be more reserved, you know. But I mean, it's like you don't have to change. Like even people say, "Oh, they can't hold hands here." I see people holding hands, hugging, kissing, like all that.
That just
So
goes to show you the media lies to you because I would have never thought that. I would have thought you had to wear the long, the cover up all. I'm not sure what it's called.
mhm,
But I would have thought you would have had to been covered from neck down all the time. And they say all the women
mhm.
can't not allowed to drive over there. Just a lot of lies. So
I done seen so many women driving Lamborghini G wagons, drinking, smoking. Like what? Like, yeah, not in Dubai. Dubai, it's different once you live here. If you come here as a tourist, you're gonna have this preconceived notion. But I live here, so I see what happens day to day. Even like the LGBT community is here, like
really,
literally
and open.
trans women. Yeah, it's a lot of Filipino men that's trans. Well, you know. I
I
guess, yeah.
right. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
wow. Now see, you
Hmm.
shot me because I wouldn't have thought they would have allowed that. I didn't think they
It's a
would.
look, them Filipino women, they be whole studs. They be on dates holding hands. I be
Wow.
like, really? Hmm.
Huh.
Yeah.
So once you got there, how long did it take you before you felt like, oh, this is home? Like 6 months, a year, like how long?
I never really feel like anywhere is home, to be honest. Maybe
Okay.
when I get to London. Like I'm moving to Europe this year. So, and I'll be back and forth. I'm getting I'm actually starting the process to purchase a property tomorrow so I can start Airbnb because the return on investment in investment property is popping here. But Dubai can be a bit boring. I'm gonna just keep it funky.
Okay.
Compared to Nigeria, it can be a bit boring. So, but I mean, the amenities is beautiful, it's clean. I have everything that I need as a vegan. So, I'll be back and forth,
From
you know.
Europe and Dubai.
Hmm.
Well, you know what? That ain't no different than what Europeans do. Some of them they be in Europe half the year, they be in the Caribbean the other half. Like people got to open up their minds. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like I, I
Yeah,
think I think especially my generation, the millennials, a lot of us think we have to live just like our parents did, and we don't have to. You know what I mean? Like
mm-mm, mm-mm.
even I was going back and forth with, do I want to buy a house? Do I want to be stuck somewhere? Do I want to like we just have more options than ever before,
Right.
which is really nice.
Buying a house scares me. Like in the United States, like a lot of my friends have bought houses, and that scares me. Like, I mean, buying an investment property, a condo in a couple different countries, I could do that, but just buying a home and being in that same home for 60, 70 years,
People don't
my
even live
grandkids
like that
did
no
that.
more.
Mm-mm. My mama don't even live like that. She's staying in an apartment. She's 62 and she's staying in an apartment in downtown Detroit. Like she ain't even trying to buy a house. So why am I gonna stress myself and live that life and be stuck somewhere that I probably don't won't even like in 10 years?
Very true. Very true. Then I'm thinking too, and especially if you don't have a bunch of kids, it's like, why do I need a big old house? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Just to say I got it. I mean,
I mean, a big house in Nigeria, maybe, a big house in Dubai or a condo in Dubai and travel back and forth. Now, that's cool, someplace where my family can come and visit, but just to have one home in one state and be there every day, all day, same TV, same road, same neighbors, that scares me.
I feel you. And then for most Americans, they're barely able to afford it. So it's like they got a nice house, but they house poor. After they pay their bills, they got $300-400, and that's it. You know,
Exactly.
month to month. So I definitely don't want to live like that.
Yeah.
What do you do as far as health insurance?
Well, in Dubai, health insurance comes with your resident visa.
Oh,
And there's international health insurance as well. So I'm not a real big like medicine taker. So even though I have it, I'm into, holistic medicine, but
okay.
you do get it with your resident visa.
Oh, so it's not like America where it's like $600 a month for.
No. Now in Nigeria, you on your own, homie. You gonna pay like you weigh. And
Okay.
you might not want to go to them doctors because my friend husband got shot. They had to go to 15 different hospitals because he didn't have a police report, and then they took the bullets out with their teeth. No, for real. So
I'm gonna pass on that. I'll pass on that. I need a real
right.
hospital, please.
Yeah, no, Nigeria, you don't want to do it. But in Dubai or a lot of these other countries, they offer free health insurance as well.
Okay. Okay, dope. So let's change gears a little bit. What made you become a vegan?
Okay, so my mom is a vegan. I grew up vegan. It was a
Oh,
lifelong journey, well, a lifelong goal of mine to become a vegan. And I was on a work trip in California, and I was working with this producer named Yanni, and he's like a super producer. And he's worked with some of the most notable people from Chris Brown and all this kind of stuff. But we had like same schedules, right? And so he was like, he went to the doctor, and the doctor had told him that if he, didn't change his life, he would have issues. And so I looked at his life and seen how it was synonymous to mine. And I was like, I'm in the studio, I'm drinking, I'm smoking, I'm eating bad, I'm hanging out, I'm living this crazy life. I need to change my life. And so when I went back to, I was living in Brooklyn. When I went back to Brooklyn, it was I stayed in Bed-Stuy, so the gentrification was happening, and so
Mm-hmm.
there was a lot of vegan restaurants. So I was like, if I'm gonna go vegan, now was the time. And I just cold turkeyed and was like, I mean, I like I said, I grew up not eating, certain things, meats, and having milk at home, so it wasn't like this big jump for me. It
Okay.
was something that I knew I was gonna do anyway. And so it was just like, let me just do it now.
Okay, you ran with that. Okay, oh, that makes sense. So yeah,
Hmm.
okay. Well, since you kind of grew up that way, then yeah, it wasn't a big deal for you versus how most of us got to really break the habit of eating a bunch of meat. So
Yeah. Like even like when I first got married to my first husband, he had a pork chop and I made it like a steak. And he was like with the grilled onions and green peppers. And he was like, "Oh, you made this like a steak." And I was like, "Oh, it's not steak." He was like, "No, it's pork chop." I was like, "Oh, I don't know me. Like what
what
it
you
look
want me
like
to
meat."
do? I don't eat it. Like what you want me to do? Okay,
Right.
okay. Um, when it comes to being a vegan, I see on your page, and you guys follow her at the Vegan Foodie. You be finding all kinds of creative recipes because people like, okay, I'll do the vegan thing, but I still want to act like I'm eating fish or feel like I'm eating chicken. So for me, jackfruit is my thing. Like
Hmm.
I had some of that and they made that taste like chicken and my mind was blown. So what are some
Yeah.
other like good substitutes for meat out there?
Mushrooms. Mushrooms
Okay.
is the go-to. Oyster mushrooms is one of my favorites. Enoki mushrooms is another one of my favorites. Chickpeas, like you said, jackfruit. I seen somebody like a lot of the recipe with all the recipes that I do reviews on, people send to me, my followers
Okay.
send to me, right? And somebody sent me sour sop fried like fish, and I'm like, what? So
Hmm.
like all you have to do, when I first went vegan, I had a cookbook, but I used to Google everything. Like, okay, I want to make this. How can I veganize it? And I found like different options, but definitely mushrooms is one of my favorites. Jackfruit is another one of my favorite. Heart of palms is another one of my favorites. And now, like, they have so many different vegan options, like meat substitutes. Like there's a chicken from House of Chicken or a Tendo Chicken here in Dubai or in London that tastes just like chicken. So you don't even have to really like try to stress yourself. You could just go to the grocery store and find a substitute and cook it, and you
You
good.
just you
Well,
just got to put
you
the effort in. People don't know even like cauliflower wings to me are
Oh yeah,
good.
cauliflower. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, so it's really in how you prepare it, seasoning. You can make it taste like whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. You just have to know how to season. If you don't know how to cook, you don't know how to cook. See, me, even when I wasn't vegan, I knew how to cook.
Gotcha.
So if you don't know how to cook, you hit. But if you know how to cook, you know how to season, you can easily turn anything into something wonderful.
That is very true. I went to this wedding in Arkansas and they had jackfruit tacos. I mean, it was supposed to
Mm-hmm.
be chicken tacos, but it was made out of jackfruit, and I was just like, oh, like oh my god, this is good. So I'm telling you, people, just try it. Just have an open mind. I think that's the biggest thing. People got to have an open mind. So let's say I got my country. I think I have my country picked out that I want to go to. When I go to visit for the first time, like how long should I stay? How many times should I visit before I make that leap?
If you are that type, me, I just move. I Google and be like,
Oh,
okay,
you just
what
Google and go.
I just Google and go. Like this, I just pull the band-aid off. But I would say stay a month, if you want to find
Okay.
if you're not the type, because me, I'll research everything beforehand. I'll know the area, the foods. Like I look for certain things. Like for me, I need to be around vegan food. I need to be like, so I'll find the best areas for me and then I'll go there. YouTube has a lot of videos from people who live abroad to give you an idea. But I would say if you are the type of person that wants to go and check it out first, go stay for a month and don't stay in tourist areas. You know,
Yes.
get an Airbnb in a residential area where grocery stores are. So you can see what it's like to grocery shop and to cook and to see how the locals are. And that way you can, because the first area you stay in is probably not going to be the area where you live, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to try different areas. Because when I first got here, in I stayed dang near in Abu Dhabi, and I was like, this ain't it. It take me 40 minutes to get to the nail shop because I was going
Oh
to the nail
no.
shop in
Oh, that's too
Dubai
far
Marina.
out.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
then I moved to Dubai South, and then I just migrated until I was in a area that I liked.
Okay, you found your way. I got you.
Hmm.
Okay, that make a lot of sense because I even did that in the DR. I went to the capital, Santo Domingo, and just lived like a regular. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
then, then they stole out of the Airbnb. And I was like, well, that's my cue to go home. but but that's what you have to do though to really see because
Yeah.
when you go and you at a resort or you live in it, tourist and living there is two different things. People don't understand that.
Hmm. It is. It's two different lifestyles. Like if you come to Dubai and you want to live like a tourist, you can, but you spend all your money.
It,
You
and
know,
then what's the point if you're gonna spend all your money?
right? Yeah. Let me turn my alarm off. Hold on one
Okay,
second.
for sure.
Sorry. Sorry about that.
No, you good. So yeah, but I hear what you're saying. Like, what's the point of going there and then spending all my money? I can stay home and do that. So you want to live like you want to live good, whatever your version of good is.
Exactly. Exactly. So I mean, I would just say, you know, choose if like you want to move and you don't know where you want to go, choose 3 countries and go stay in 3 different countries 3 times a year. Well, 3 separate times for a month and see how you feel. Stay somewhere in the wintertime that's hot so you can see if like Dubai, see if you can really deal with the winter, or come in the summertime, see if you can handle the summer, because Dubai summer is not the business you know.
Okay, how how
So,
how how hot is it in the summer?
it's hot blow dryer in your face. You thought Satan opened up the gateways hot.
Okay,
It's you don't want to go outside hot. Like literally, that's why I'm like, okay, so I need to be in Europe in the summertime because this I ain't doing this again.
dang, it was like
Ever.
that.
Ever. You hear me? Ever.
Dang,
I'm good, you
dang,
know.
you ain't lying. There. Okay, so it was really like that because I'm like, dang, I thought Arizona was bad, but of course, Dubai ain't got. I mean, that's a whole other
No.
beast.
I mean, it's like Arizona, Vegas, and hell mixed in one
Okay,
all day.
dang,
There is no nighttime. The sun is gone. It's cool. It's nope.
it's just
It's hot.
hot.
It's just constant heat on top of heat on top of, like, I walked to the store one day in the daytime and I regretted my life. Like, why am I here? You
Really?
know. But then you'll be in Nigeria and they have a season where it rains really bad. And it's just like pouring, it's like the sky just opened up and just poured a glass of water over the country. So you got to live in these countries and see how you can handle this type of weather. Like they have this, it's right now, it's harmattan, which is like their flu season. So this time of year it gets cooler, but people get sick because they're not
Mm,
used to it.
okay.
So and then certain things like when I first moved to Nigeria, since I was that close to the equator, my feet swole, my hands swole. So you just have to move to these different countries in different times and see how your body works with it too.
Dang, okay. I didn't even consider that. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, yeah, because you close to the, because if you're from this part of the equator, and then you move on the equator, your body is going to adjust, you
True.
know. So you have to go and see how you feel and go in different seasons and see how your body adjusts to that.
Dang, okay. I'm liking the jewels that you dropping. I really am. Now,
Yeah.
you have your own community online. What do
Hmm.
you call your people? Foodies? I couldn't pick that out. Like, what do you call your people that follow you?
Uh, well, my followers, I don't, I don't really. Okay, so I have a private community, which is the Vegan Vixens, right? Which is
Hmm.
a community of women.
Okay.
And then I have the expat community. But my followers, I just call them like, I don't know. Like I don't have like the barbs, the foods. Maybe I need to call them the foods, but in my women, I call them the vixens,
The
and
Vixens.
my expats, I call them the expats, my tribe members.
Okay, I'm like I figured you would have a name for one of them or some of them at least. So
Yeah,
talk about the trip you guys plan on doing to Turkey this year.
yeah. So people like this was like a request. People like we trying to come out here like show us the way, sis. And so my goal is to take people to countries that they would never think about. You never thought about going to Turkey, right? Like most people
No,
haven't. And
no.
so, but Turkey is a beautiful community. It's cheap. I actually was going to move to Turkey before I moved to Dubai. And so
Hmm.
my goal is
Hmm.
twice a year to take people to different countries that one they can potentially live in, and two get to see other parts. Because I'm over the Jamaica, the cruises, the Paris. Like you can go there anytime, you know.
Thank you.
So my
Yes.
goal is to broaden Black Americans' horizon to see other parts of the world. So I decided to do 2 trips a year. The first trip is going to be in July because that's my birthday.
Oh, okay.
And so, we're gonna turn up because might as well, do yachts and hang out. And but also in addition to doing tourist stuff, I'm going to be taking them to different apartments, making them grocery shop, seeing what it's like to live in these other countries. And then the second trip will be in November. I'm taking them to Tanzania. So it'll be like one country will be a
Wow.
European country, another country will be an African country, another country might be, Belize, and then we'll go to Qatar, stuff like that.
Oh, that's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
That is gonna be dope. And I even saw the flyer, and I'll put all the links in the on the video. Now I
Okay.
saw the flyer. I said, "Dang, it's not even really that expensive either." So I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be dope for them for sure.
Well, I mean, that's why I'm saying I'm taking them to cheap countries, but also it's like I want to show people it don't cost because some people be in my comments like I can't afford it, I ain't rich. And it's like you
You
really
ain't got
think
to
you
be
got to be
rich.
rich, but some people think that way. So it's like,
Mm-mm.
okay, for that money you gonna spend anyway on something, whether you going to the club, doing something, going to the
Going to the
movies, why not
mall,
going to the mall, why not spend that money on experiences?
and the way
So
and the way I look at it too, you get your income tax refund. There you go. Take your trip
right.
right there.
Yeah. And if you turn it into a business, if you like it's a business trip, a business move, you write that mud off, you know?
So, or you? Oh, I'm assuming you still have your American residency, right?
Yeah, I'm still a citizen.
Okay. Do you ever plan to give that up, or you gonna do a double citizenship somewhere, or
I'm
you
gonna do
just?
a dual. Yeah, I'm gonna do a dual. I'm looking at some country because a lot of countries you can go and buy property and get dual citizenship. Dubai is not one of those countries. You do get a 10-year golden visa when you buy a property, but certain countries in Europe, if you buy a property over 200,000, you can get citizenship.
Oh wow.
So that
Oh,
is the goal.
okay. I got a silly question. The money you make overseas, you don't have to pay taxes on, right? Or do you?
And okay, so let me give you the game. So
Okay.
Dubai is income tax free, right? So when I day trade, my money goes into my Dubai account because that's where I reside. So you just found one of these income tax free countries. So let's say for you, right? You had a residency here, you had a Dubai residency, you would still get the same amount, like, but it'll be going into your Dubai account. So let's say you got 10,000, you times that times 3.67, you have 30,000 dirham. But you won't have to pay the taxes at the end of the year because
It went
it's
to my
going.
Dubai account.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I knew it was a way to get around it because my mom used to date this dude. He started driving trucks in, I think, in Afghanistan or something like that, and was making like 25K a month. And he was like, "Oh, this is tax free," and I'm like, "How?" Like, but that's what you do. You just keep it separate from. That makes sense, though.
A lot of day traders moved here too. A lot from all over the world. They moved to Dubai.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. You
I
just you
need
just
to.
got to look up income tax free countries.
I'm gonna definitely look that up for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Actually, you can come here and get an account with a tourist visa. You just have to have 10,000 dirham to open it up, which is like maybe like 3,000,
Okay.
4,000.
Yeah. You open up an account. Perfect.
Yep.
Oh my God. Okay. This was fun. I appreciate you coming on, making time. I know it's late there in
It's
Dubai, so
fine.
I really do appreciate it.
Thank
Let the people know one more time where they can find you and follow you.
I'm everywhere. Just the vegan foodie on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat, Twitter. But if you follow my Twitter, just be cautious because I be saying whatever I want to say. So if you get offended, that's on you. Um, but yeah, I'm everywhere. The vegan foodie. I just made it real simple. The vegan foodie with the E, not IE, because IE you might get somebody else. I don't know who you're gonna get. It ain't gonna be me.
I got you. I got you. I appreciate it. And I can't wait to get this up for the people. This was definitely educational. You take care. And
Thank you.
I'm following you. I'm gonna like message you so you know it's me.
I actually followed you on my private page too, and I seen you on my
Oh,
live. So I
okay.
seen you.
So you know. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I've been watching your stuff anyway for a while. So
Oh,
you know,
nice. Okay.
yeah.
Well, hey, that's dope. Well, hey, I thank you for coming on and you have a good night. All right.
Thank you.
It's a storm show. Ay, it's a storm show.